beyond the skies. You and I, we're breaking bounds on Baobab.
All right, hello and welcome everyone. We are so excited to have you here with us. We have a really exciting program for you today, talking about new trends, especially with AI and what that's doing to our job market. Let me open up my PowerPoint and share my screen so we can go ahead and get started. Oh, I usually have two screens. Today I just have one. So I gotta navigate this a little bit. All righty. Great. So we're going to be talking today about navigating our job market trends. Very excited to have you all with us. We have a special guest of Kelvin Kimutai, and he's going to be sharing with us. I'm going to introduce him in a second. My name is Elizabeth McDonald. I have been a communication and career readiness coach for Baobab um, for about 12 years now, and I've done work with business professionals from different organizations. Very happy to be here. Our guest today is Kelvin Kimutai. He is a program coordinator and Chief Upskilling Officer at Talenteum and Breedj. He leads employer partnerships. Sorry, I don't know why this is on auto thing. He leads employer partnerships and program delivery for remote work and placements. He designs job-ready training through Breedj Academy, remote work mastery program, and oversees onboarding, performance support, and impact reporting so teams see value quickly while talent thrives in the remote economy. So we're looking at this whole new world of how AI and remote work is impacting us. If people could share in chat, if any of you are already working in the remote work sector, let us know in chat if you're already working in the remote work sector or if you would like to. Let us know in chat. Give us a sense of who is here with us. That would be great. And let's come to so I'm going to tell you also a little bit about Breedj, because Kelvin's very excited about it. It's the first social bridging and all-in-one HR tech platform built by Talenteum. Talenteum is this up-and-coming organization that helps global organizations hire, onboard, and pay exceptional remote professionals across Africa. Breedj combines talent sourcing with compliant employment, EOR contractor management, payroll taxes, and cross-border payments so you can scale distributed teams without setting up a local entity. They build diverse, high-performing remote teams with one secure platform. Very exciting because this is the wave of the future. Very exciting. So thank you guys for sharing. So we have Shedrack joining from Rwanda. He's working remotely. We have Charles. He is a pharmacist in Rwanda. Monica would like to work in the remote sector. Afiz runs a community of job seekers in Nigeria who are interested in remote work opportunities. So glad to have you joining us today. That's awesome. All right. Group rules, so please mute yourself when not speaking. To participate, raise your hand, use your chat or emojis, listen to each other. During the webinar, if you have questions, ask them in chat. We'll make a note of them, and at the end, we'll have lots of time for Q&A. I'm sure you all will have a lot of questions for Kelvin. So to start, I'd like to just share some current job market trends in the U.S. so you have a sense of what we're seeing here in this part of the world. So new technologies like generative AI, they're allowing companies to do more with less. And so there's a growing belief that having too many employees is bad. there's this new metric that companies are using. They want to have $1 million of revenue per employee. So it's like the fewer the employees, the better. And the message from many bosses is anyone still on payroll should be working harder. That's what we're seeing. And we also see here an interesting trend. I hope you all can see it. The number of white collar employees in US public companies changed since the end of 2021. People are laying off executives and managers, right? Those are the folks that are getting laid off. And some trends for laying off these managerial staff. They're cutting off the non-manufacturing workforce. They want broader roles and smaller teams. Right? They laid off 20% of managers. Microsoft plans to lay off thousands of employees. It's a really big trend here. And who are the employees that are being laid off? If you can see US corporate employees at public companies, 3-year change. HR, sales and support, business management, consulting, operations, publishing, project management, marketing and product, and education. Right? So these jobs that people have traditionally gone into are suddenly being replaced by AI. That's a trend that we're seeing. And what business leaders are saying publicly is, hey, no new hires unless managers can prove that AI is not capable of doing their job. And Amazon is saying efficiency gains from using generative AI will result in cuts, right? So we're seeing a lot of layoffs. What business leaders are saying off the record is they're saying, I don't need 30 to 40% of my team, right? They're so confident that AI can replace workers. Current job market trends worldwide, we're seeing a similar impact, right? But we're seeing how AI is going to create jobs, right? They think 170 million new jobs by 2030. So they're saying that even though, yes, jobs are going to be lost, many more will be gained, and there'll be a net positive effect. They expect that AI-related job postings have increased 400% in the past 2 years, and wages in AI-exposed industries are rising twice as fast as in less AI-integrated sectors. So it's definitely the area to go in. Looking at trends specifically in Sub-Saharan Africa, I thought this was really interesting. So this big green part is the US and the layoffs in the US. But look at this. In Africa, we're finding this increase in job creation, 230 million. So this is, I think, just the beginning. You're going to see this enormous trend of growth. They expect that AI's market will grow 27% at compound annual growth and reach 16.53 billion by 2030. 230 million digital jobs are forecast for Sub-Saharan Africa by 2030, representing the largest employment opportunity. And so what are some initiatives that are happening? So we have African Development Bank made a partnership with Intel to train 3 million Africans in AI and the fourth industrial revolution skills. Ghana has established a 25-kilometer Ghana UAE Innovations and Technology Hub, supported by Microsoft, Meta, and IBM. And South Africa right now leads the continent in AI readiness. So those are some initiatives that are happening. We're seeing implications for job seekers. Target skills combine technical AI literacy with uniquely human capabilities. Focus on AI literacy alongside these uniquely human skills. The most resilient careers combine technical competency with creativity, leadership, interpersonal abilities. Continuous learning and adaptability are essential. So I think that's a really nice overview of what we're seeing for these current trends. Let me know in chat if you thought that was helpful and interesting and new. Give me a sign in chat. Right? So with that, I know that was quick. Kelvin, I'm going to hand the floor over to you. And Kelvin is going to share with you his oh, sorry, we're not at Q&A. We're going to hand the floor. I'm going to stop sharing so we can focus on Kelvin, and he's going to tell us about his work, his company, and some of his company's new initiatives.
Great. Thank you, Elizabeth. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, yeah.
Wow, great. Hello, everyone. So much excited, super excited to be a guest in this session today and, be here to talk about the rapidly evolving work trends in Africa and especially the remote work and talent placement in this, digital age. So Elizabeth has already done a very super introduction, wow, about me also. I'll also do the same introduction again. So I'm Kelvin Kimutai, the program coordinator and the chief upskilling officer at Talenteum Africa. So I'm just super excited to be here to represent Talenteum. So Talenteum is a Pan-African talent marketplace and a remote work enabler that helps international companies hire remote talents in a compliant and seamless way. So through what we are calling employer of record model, Talentium opens doors for skilled professionals across Africa to work for global companies, handling all the local payroll and compliant hassles for them. So and through this, we have built on this mission and we have launched what is called Breedj. That's where you hear that Kelvin comes from Talenteum and Breedj. So basically, Breedj is an all-in-one HR tech platform that now automates the entire recruitment to payment cycle for remote teams. So in simple terms, Breedj is a social bridging platform where companies can find, can hire, and pay top African talents, whether full time or freelance. We are talking about an all-in-one place. So I'm here today so that I'm able to share these insights and hopefully be able to also transition those who want to transition to remote work also. Well, where are we today? Our goal here is all my goal today here is to give an overview of major employment trends where we are seeing in the continent. And I'm going to focus a bit so much on Africa because that is where we are focusing on. So, in particular, we are going to explore which professions are most in demand and are in the remote work era, and which roles are shrinking or being refined by AI. And also, we are going to be looking at what key skills you should develop to remain highly marketable. So now, the world of work currently is changing so fast, which is being driven by the digital transformation and AI everywhere. And that also comes in with exciting opportunities for those who are going to stay ahead of the curve. And when we talk about the context of Africa, Africa's young and digitally connected workforce can really ride on this wave of opportunity. And I do really hope that by the end of this talk, I'll hope that you'll feel motivated and get informed because currently we have a notion that AI is coming and it's taking over everything. But I'm here so that we can change that perspective also and see what happens. So let's dive in. What are the professions that are great in demand, especially in the remote work? So let's dive in right from starting from the bright spot, the jobs and the sectors that are booming in demand. So now, digital transformation and remote first business models are creating a surge in demand that is for certain professions. And in fact, one of the report has predicted already that Africa's digital job market will expand by 42% by 2030. Now, we are so much excited also about this because we are so, looking at the growth in remote work and outsourcing. So these are the roles, or let's look at the roles and the fields that are, we can say these are hot cake right now. One is the tech and digital roles. Now, there is a global hunger for tech talents, and Africa is rising to meet it. That's one thing that I want you to know. We are talking from the skilled software developers, whether you are building a full stack web platform or the latest mobile app. All these are highly sought after across the world. Likewise, also to cybersecurity specialists. And I really want you to be so much keen on this because I'm going to touch across all the sectors. And I'm so much excited because of what Elizabeth has also has presented as the current trends of the jobs that are being overtaken, getting obsolete. So I want you to be super keen on what I'm going to speak about here today. So likewise, also, I say the cybersecurity specialists, cloud computing engineers are in great demands as every company is moving to the cloud and they need what is called, to protect their data. So we are also seeing a strong demand in data analysts and data engineers who can turn, explosion of data into insights. And I'm super excited because I'm here coming from the market perspective. Now, there are some things that you would learn outside there and read over the news, but my contribution today to this webinar is from the exciting data that we are looking at or what is happening within the real time. So to give you an idea, when we talk about the cybersecurity jobs in Africa, it is projected that is growing by 18% annually. And also the machine learning related roles that have already shot up by over 50% in demand in the recent years. Now, it's not only about the tech roles that are shooting up and that are in demand. We also have these remote ready service roles. It's not just the coders who benefit from the remote work trend. But we are also seeing a boom in service-oriented roles that can be done online. For example, virtual assistants. And not just a virtual assistant. We're talking about a virtual assistant who can handle administrative tasks, schedule meetings, and also report or support the executive remotely. This allows the companies to operate efficiently across the time zone. And that is what people are looking for. Now, another role also, which is remote work ready, is the sales development representatives or the customer success managers. I want you to note the key manager as I'll be going down, I'll be telling you more. So, customer success managers who can work remotely. And, these are the ones who are so much in demand because they can help to manage the business and help the business to grow globally. So, in the broader digital marketing arena also, we are looking at the roles like the search engine optimization specialist, social media managers. Again, you need to underline the word managers here, and content strategies are highly sought after as companies also are expanding their online presence. So I'm going to run through the first item, and then I'm going to take a breather, and then we see whether we have some topics. So we also have another in-demand, the specialized sector roles. So this is beyond the generic tech and admin jobs. So when we look at from the industry perspective, certain industries are expecting exciting growth when it comes to remote work, especially in Africa. So let's talk about health. When you talk about health, it is health tech or telemedicine, for instance. These have grown so much rapidly, especially after the pandemic, that is the COVID-19 and others. In fact, I hear what is going to come. So there's more demand for professionals who can support the telehealth platforms and also the medical data analysis. So this means that in every sector, if you are able to combine the tech aspect with whatever is happening within your industry. Similarly, also with the climate tech, this is rising as the world is investing in sustainability. So think of roles like, you're talking about the solar energy engineers, environmental data analysts, climate research specialists. Africa in itself, or the countries within Africa, investing in, renewable energy projects. And companies also desperately need the skilled workers to drive these initiatives. So, example, some solar and wind projects, maybe in Nigeria and South Africa, have stalled due to there is a shortage in qualified professionals to run them. Now, another one is e-learning. This is something that does not come to an end. Learning, skilling, this one is something that doesn't come to an end. So the growing area is e-learning, and instructional designers, online education specialists who can create digital learning content are the ones that are being sought so much after. So with the expansion of edtech, you will be hearing everything in every sector. We are talking about the edtech, education tech, the health tech. So EdTech teachers and content creators who can deliver the training remotely, often to international audience, are in greater demand. So I'm going to take a breather before we talk about now we flip the coin and look at the professionals that are downsizing there. Yeah.
Great.
See someone?
So interesting. So we're wondering if there are any questions from people. So helpful, Kelvin, of seeing what are the sectors where it's growing. That demand of health, telehealth, telemedicine, and then the sustainability. So interesting that not just with the AI and the real tech centers, but those also. Any questions we have from Kelvin related to that information he shared?
Great. I'm looking at someone says a quick one. There are so many upcoming companies or individuals that claim they connect African talent to remote jobs. They ask for a token of an amount of money only to review your CV later, realizing they are scammers. What's unique about Talentium, or how can you convince us? That's a very interesting and a very interesting one there. Well, I'm not here to convince you about Talentium. Talentium already has its own name outside there. So we don't charge for any interviews, and we don't charge to place you remotely. What we do is when the talent, when the client picks you or interviews you or you qualify to work, it's the client that pays us. It's not the talent that pays us. So that's one thing about you that's unique about us. Well, and at the end of this, I'll be also sharing my link to LinkedIn so that you can follow me and ask more questions that you need. Thank you. Well, do you have any question on your end, Elizabeth?
I don't. I'm just seeing some nice thumbs up from people. It's just so nice getting, from your perspective, that verification of these sectors that are growing. And, sometimes it's hard to find information about that. I looked and it did say sustainability, but it's really nice seeing the trends that you're seeing. And all the research says Africa is going to be the place for talent for AI related needs. It's going to be just amazing. So
Great.
I'll hand the floor back over to you, I think.
Well, great. Thank you. So let's flip the coin on the other side. Let's look at the other side of the coin. The professions are downsized or disrupted by AI. I know AI is a monster that is threatening everyone. Now, we have addressed the other flip or the other side of the coin. So even as new jobs emerge, there are some professions that are shrinking or evolving due to the automation of AI. It is reality that AI technology are taking over certain tasks that used to be done by people. That feels a great threat. Now, the key pattern here is that repetitive, routine, or rule-based tasks, these are the tasks, or these are the jobs that are easiest for AI to handle. And those are the jobs that are most at risk. So if you are doing something that is repetitive, routine-based, or rule-based task, then that is at high risk. So let's look at a few of them. Routine administrative task. And I'll be giving an example of myself. There are many basic administrative and clerical tasks that are now being, that can now be automated by software or AI. At trend, sometimes they are calling it robotic process automation. So think of jobs like data entry, transcriptions, Think about jobs like, gone are the days when, you go to a meeting and you do manual writing of the minutes. Like right now, there are softwares or there are AIs that are able to take the minutes, and as soon as you're done with the meeting, you have the minutes. In fact, even as you continue with the meeting, it's able to prompt you with the highlights of the meeting itself. So think about scheduling tasks. Think about bookkeeping. I'll tell you by myself, I'm a certified, my education background is certified public accountant. I trained as a certified public accountant. But think about this, what AI is doing to accounting. It's getting automated. Bookkeeping is getting obsolete at the moment. But to be at par and at the top of the market, I had to, take a step ahead. And that's why at this moment, I'm doing career development. I'm a program coordinator and all that stuff. So now these involve a lot of repetitive actions following set rules. And exactly that is what the machine can excel at. Now, look at the study, what it says. Studies suggest that nearly 46% of tasks in administrative roles could be done by AI today. So, for instance, instead of human typing the data, as I've mentioned, typing in forms into a system, you can use the AI to recognize text and input them automatically. Okay. Now, we also have another role that is being downsized, the customer service support. And that is why I mentioned earlier that underline the word manager. So here, the customer service and support. These are we're talking about the entry levels and the if you have ever, for example, used a website live chat. Elizabeth says she has created a chat bot also. So if you've been able to interact with that chat, you will realize that you are actually talking to a bot, and this is the trend. Okay, and AI chatbots and voice assistants are increasingly handling the first line customer support queries. So they can answer the frequent asked questions, the FAQs, okay, and help troubleshoot basic issues, or route the customer to the right success resource, all without needing a human agent. Now, let me tell you, instead, a company would look at this. Instead of having 500 people being employed and to handle that work, they can just employ 50 of them to be who are specialists to only oversight on these chatbots. So the result is that the companies can operate support centers with fewer human agents, focusing on people on the more complex customer problems. So the tech research shows that this one is clearly shifting to another level. So as I've mentioned, a customer service center that once employed 500 employees might just transform into 50 AI oversight specialists managing the chatbots. So according to IBM said that using AI in customer support, for example, mining call logs, emails, can improve the responses and cut the support cost by 23%. Tell me, which organization or company doesn't want to cut cost? Okay. Now, we also have another downsizing role, that is the content generation and creative role. This is a newer development. AI is starting to perform tasks that we used to think of as creative or required a human touch. For example, entry level copywriting, or writing a basic content can now be, partly handled by AI, like ChatGPT. ChatGPT is so much being used. I saw recently on the news that Kenya is leading in the use of ChatGPT. I was so much excited because I'm also a Kenyan. So well now such at the moment, like ChatGPT, you can use to draft blogs, you can use to do some product description, social media captions, and some companies have even used the AI to generate news articles and marketing copies. Now, in the digital world, marketing world, about 81% of the marketers believe that AI will lead to job losses among the content writers. I want you to think about that. That said, high level creative work, for example, strategy, complex writing, nouns design, still will need very much or still needs human, but those human are now working with AI tools to be more productive. So for you to be on a high competitive edge, you need to be able to show that you are able to leverage the use of AI. I'll be talking about that as we go down there. Now, another opportunity or jobs that are being downsized by AI. Basic,
Kelvin,
yes,
can I
yes.
interrupt for just a second? I
Yeah,
love what
sure.
you just said. I absolutely love what you just said, and I'm going to reinforce it. So, I recently reconnected with a student I have, and he won an award as the best student of his class. And he, of all things, he has severe, I don't know, severe is too strong, but he has learning disabilities. He's dyslexic, he's ADHD, he has a hard time reading. Reading's really difficult for him. So he used AI tools. And you guys, I'll post this for you. I'll make available what he used. He used all these different AI tools to make his learning better, to be strategic in how he learned things. And he was the best in his class. None of his teachers knew that he had learning disabilities. So he was doing what you're saying. He became like an expert at how to use AI to be more efficient, more effective, more strategic, a better learner, absorb more information. You're exactly right.
Well, no. Um, I hope I'm audible. Yeah, great. Thank you. So another jobs or another job that is being downsized by AI is the basic research and information gathering. So need to compile a list of market trends of compiling literature reviews, doing data mining, fact checking, or being that are being streamlined by AI at the moment, especially with the use of ChatGPT. And researchers, junior research opportunities are just being done away. So what I would say here is some entry level analyst jobs, market research roles. That we are mainly about that were mainly about gathering facts are becoming more rare and more rare. And companies instead are looking for people who can interpret and act on research rather than just collect on them. Now, even some tech roles also, even some tech roles also are being or are getting obsolete here. It is interesting to know that AI is even changing how the technical work is being done. For instance, we talk about coding here. So we now have AI programs that are like GitHub Copilot that can write chunks of codes automatically. You can imagine what that is happening or what that is doing. This doesn't eliminate the need of software developers, but it means that one developer can be far more productive with AI assistance. So, I'll give you a case example that we were directly involved or that directly hit us. Microsoft recently laid off about over 6,000 employees, I think 9,000 employees in early and mid 2025. You could think what this was. Talentium is an agent or partner agent to Microsoft, and we had Microsoft technical assistants working from Kenya and all other countries. But you can imagine what this happened. Many from engineering teams as it doubled down on AI driven products. So, leadership at Microsoft indicated that this was a strategic shift. They found that AI, like their copilot in essence, could handle some of the coding work. Since reportedly that 30% of the Microsoft coding is now being written by the AI system. So think about what that happens. Okay. So even a developer's role is being redefined. So routine coding tasks might be offloaded to AI, and developers are expected to focus on high architecture, supervision, integration of AI into workflow. And it is clear that there is no field. It's a clear sign that no field is completely untouched by AI rise. Okay, I'm gonna take a breather there before we go to the next thing that is in the skills that are in demand.
Wow, I'm just so fascinated by the statistics and information you're sharing. Do you have any questions, or give me a thumbs up that if you're just that's now asking us all to be more and more creative. I know. Wow, you may be let me know if you're getting questions directly, but boy, oh my gosh. That's amazing. That's
Great,
amazing.
great, great, great. Thank you for the thumbs up, guys. So we proceed. So let's look at the most in-demand job skills in the future. So, given the trends that we have discussed, booming fields and AI shaking up things, so we begin to ask ourselves, what skills should a young professional focus on? So, what are the employers now, especially that I'm working with the employers? What are the employers really looking for now and in the near future? Now, you had being said the future of work. So, success in the modern job market requires what we call it a blend of strong digital skills, the ability to excel in remote work environment, and timeless human skills that machines can't easily replicate. So you need to think about this, that what is it that a machine cannot replicate? What is it that a machine cannot handle? And that is where you're going to thrive in. So let's break down some of these most in-demand skills. One is the technical and digital skill. Now, first and foremost, proficiency in technology is non-negotiable. So you don't necessarily need to be a coding wizard for every job, but you must be digitally literate and comfortable learning new tech tools every day. Now, let's talk about Africa in this context. In many countries, now over 50% of the jobs, if not 100%, will require at least basic digital literacy by 2030. I mean, I look at even what is happening in the agriculture sector. AI is taking over. So AI and machine learning literacy is a huge and highly valuable. Understanding how AI works, how to use AI tools, or even basic of prompting engineering, like knowing how to task the right question to the tools like ChatGPT. We're talking about the how to prompt them, okay? So can really set you apart in this. Now, relatedly, data analysis and also data visualization skills are in high demand. Now, companies have loads of data and they need people who can make sense out of it or tell stories through the dashboards and reports. This is something that, it can really be done well by a human. Well, you can be given the visualization by the AI, but it is the human that can really bring the sense. For me to connect with another human, or for I to connect with another human, I will need a human to connect with them so that we can have the touch. For example, this session you would have just gone to the YouTube, or you would have gone to and Google and ask ChatGPT. But you see, the human interaction is what is bringing us home in what we are talking about here. Now, cloud computing also, experience with platforms like AWS, Azure, and also Google Cloud are also very marketable, as cloud infrastructure underpins most modern services. In fact, the roles in data, AI, cloud are among the fastest growing worldwide. So these are the ones which have been labeled that fastest growing skills globally. Now, let's a little bit deviate from the tech roles there. We also see continuous need for those who can manage tech projects. So familiarity with project management, like for me, that is my area of field in project management. So how do I leverage? You can imagine the work that we could do. I would require an project manager. I would require all other administrative. I can all handle by myself because of one tool that I'm using to manage all my project work. So examples like Asana, examples like project management tools like Trello, like Monday.com, and also methodologies like Agile and Scrum. These are very useful. And let's not forget cybersecurity, as we've mentioned earlier. that it is a blooming field, and many employers are desperate for talents that are skilled in encryption, networking, security, and also ethical hacking. And I will tell you that this is something that is very rare in Africa, and more than a third of the countries, firms are struggling to hire enough cybersecurity professionals. So if you're in that field, I'm here to tell you that you are on the right track. Now, remote work competencies also. Succeeding in a remote work or hybrid setup has its own skills and requirements. You could be having, or you could be a professional, not necessarily a tech environment or in tech industry, but you can position yourself for remote work. And that's why we are running a program. We've been running a program with the Breedj Academy, that is the remote work mastery program, which it's gonna transition you to be remote work ready. Now, still at the remote work competencies here is that employers value virtual communication immensely. So you need to show that you're able to communicate across. Cross-cultural collaboration is something also that is very, very important when it comes to remote work, and also self-management and accountability. Now, remote work is here to stay. I'm here to say that. That's my area, that is my field, that's where my passion is. About 68% of African employers expect remote work to continue driving the digital adoption. So these soft skills for remote effectiveness are increasingly not just nice to have, but they are essential. And last on that is what is called the industry specific and domain skill. This is just basically in your area of specialization. Ensure that you attach the tech in it and digitize it. Like when you talk about the health, we are talking about the health tech. If you talk about the education, we're talking about the education tech. So like health informatics and telemedicine platforms, fintech. You've heard of that is what is happening. Digital banking, blockchain, all that, e-learning. That is what is happening. And lastly is the human soft skill, adaptability, creativity, problem solving. All these put together, it puts you on another different level. So we have the last part, that is the impact of AI on talent demand. I'm gonna take a 1 minute break and see what we have there before we handle the last part of it.
Any questions or comments for Kelvin on this as he moves on? So interesting. And so, I presented these stats in the beginning, and you bring to life like what's really going on behind the scenes driving these stats. You guys, such helpful information. Oh my gosh. I get a lot of questions. Well, like what field should I target? What role should I prepare myself for? And this is the guidance of where the future is and how to make yourself marketable. All right, I'm not seeing any questions. You can go ahead, I think, and continue with our last part.
Yeah. So our last part is now the impact of AI on talent demand and how do we thrive in the age of AI. So we have talked about the demand trends and AI roles, but let's step back and look at the big picture here. So how exactly is AI reshaping what employers want? And how can you ride this wave instead of being wiped out by it? You flow with the tide. So the question is, how are we going to flow with the tide instead of, being swept away by the tide? It's a tsunami, but how are we going to thrive with this tsunami? Now, this is a critical topic for anyone planning their career right now. And this is the most important part that I want you to listen to it. The influence of AI is everywhere, and companies are recognizing themselves around AI. And the skills they seek are evolving accordingly. Now, one thing we are seeing is that many organizations are undergoing what we call AI pivot, just as Microsoft did. They restructured their teams to focus on AI. So you can imagine all the repetitive tasks that used to be done at the basic level is now being done by the AI. So Even letting go of some employees in the process is what the organization are doing. And also other businesses are also realigning their talent needs. So if you are already working to ensure that you don't get laid off, ensure that you align yourself with what AI is doing. Now, they are actively looking for people who have AI skills and AI mindset, not necessarily AI researchers, but they are looking for professionals in any role who know how to leverage AI tools to be more productive. I will give you an example of a friend of mine. He's called Fido. He's also a MasterCard Alumni Foundation. I love him. His area of professionalism or education background is a mechanical engineer. But look at what he's doing right now. He's thriving in digital marketing because he's decided to align himself. For him, he said, whatever education that I got just formed a stepping stone to the next level and the education background. But he has decided to align himself with what is happening. So he's thriving so much when it comes to digital marketing. So another example that I want to give here is a content writer who knows how to use AI, an AI writing assistant to brainstorm ideas, or a customer support rep who's adept or who has deep knowledge in managing AI chatbots and and workflows. Those are the people that are extremely valuable because they bring in the extra efficiency. Now, it is very important to understand that AI is raising the bar, and many professionals, and I like to say this, AI won't necessarily steal your job, but someone who knows how to use AI might. In software development, for instance, we saw that an AI can generate a code. But what does that really mean for a developer? It means that the baseline expectation moves up. Okay. So in routine coding, if routine coding is now being handled by Copilot, so a developer now values, the developer's value now lies in how well they can design a system. A system that you used to develop within months and months, you can now develop within a week. So the essence here is if you're a software developer, how quick can you leverage on the AI to develop whatever you are developing? I hope you are together there. So this is my few key takeaway things. One is embrace lifelong learning. Make it a habit to regularly upskill. Secondly, is focus on your unique human strength. This is what I would say here, that while you improve on your tech skills, also cultivate the areas where humans have an edge: creativity, empathy, ethics, and leadership. So this will differentiate you in an AI saturated environment. Another thing, learn to leverage AI as a tool rather than just seeing AI as a threat. Think of it as a powerful tool that you can use and get hands on with the AI tool that is emerging in your industry. Then stay agile is my favorite one. Be open to change. So be prepared to navigate a career path that isn't linear. So the idea of training for one professional and doing that for 40 years is an outdated one. For me, I'm a professional accountant, but look at what I'm doing. I'm doing e-learning. I'm doing e-training at the moment. I'm in HR tech. So deviate from the path that isn't linear and move into a path that is diversified. Before I conclude, so the key here is to remain agile. Before I conclude, any question?
Any
So I have,
questions?
yeah.
Boy, I have a question. So there are so many options of things to learn, of different tools to use. Are there, and I shared an example for me. Recently I taught myself how to create a chatbot. I'm like, oh my God. Like that for me, like that was a leap such a leap. So I would say for people, learn how to make a chatbot, because that'll put you in another realm of understanding what ChatGPT is doing, right? Any other suggestions? For there's so many options. Are there ones that you strongly recommend?
Yeah, well, what you can do is you can look at what is your professional area of professionalism also, because that forms the foundation and the basics of what you can do. Then, for example, I'm developing a solution for SMEs down there that is able to handle their bookkeeping. We have the unlearned, SME that are just running their own kiosk. So I'm developing an app for them that it's able to take in, consume the data that they are inputting, and advise them on what credit facilitism. Begin with the area of your specialization and then think, what is it that you can bring? What solution you can bring? An entrepreneur is someone who looks at the problem and then out of that problem brings a solution, but does not become a problem in the problem. So that's what I could say.
So we had a question earlier from someone asking, like, how can this help in rural development and people who live in rural areas? That's your answer. It applies everywhere. You can help them improve what they're doing. Right? Oh, I think you froze up a little bit, or maybe I froze up.
Yeah. We had that. Yeah. So we had that question of one who asked, how do I navigate changing career paths early
Yeah.
on in my professional life? And for example, you said that what if I start my career as a marketing expert, but but after a couple of years, I realized that I am more interested in learning innovation strategist. What are some of practical steps that I can take to make that transition? This is what I would say. Now, changing career path early is more common than ever. And it can actually be an advantage if approached strategically. And these are the practical steps that I would give. First, audit your transferable skills. So you would want to transfer from one profession to another. So get to know what is it that it's common on the other end. So many skills from marketing, communication, storytelling, digital skills, or digital tools, project management. These are highly relevant when it comes to learning innovation. So highlight these strengths and not a restart. And then upskill with intention. That is the short courses. And this is what I want to mention here. It's not about going to take a whole degree, bachelor's degree again, so that you can transition. Currently, I will tell you what we do at Talenteum. When you come to Talenteum and we are interviewing you, we look at the skills rather than the educational background. We look at what is it that you can bring on the table. If you say you are a software developer, what is it that you can develop as a software developer? So this is what is happening. And that's what I'm saying, upskill with intention. That is, take the short courses, certifications, or projects that directly are linked with the profession that you want to move. And then you start with small transition. Look for those opportunities within the current role, and then you can move and grow. And then most importantly, network and find mentors, and then now you are able to tell a cohesive story. So that is what I would say.
Very helpful.
Is there a question then?
They're asking, so people are asking about Salesforce. I think they're asking about specific software programs in sales, like Salesforce and I don't know. I'm looking in the chat, in the general chat. I don't know.
And as you're also looking for that, this is what I would want to mention, that ensure that as you transition or ensure anything that you are taking as a new upskilling, ensure that it is aligning with the current trend in AI. So he says, I have a finance degree and learning data science. Recently, I'm thinking of Salesforce. I still don't know which one to focus. Now, again, don't spread so much. Don't spread so much to a point that you also lose focus. First, you need to audit yourself. So don't just be a jack of all trade, but a master of none. So ensure that you define the path that you want to follow. And this is how to thrive in. Always seek a mentor. I would say what has made me to thrive in whatever I'm doing is because I always have a mentor. And do not fear to talk to your mentor. Yeah. So looking at the side of AI, do you think a 3-year master program is needed, or should one invest in studying AI to grow in their career? Yes. Well, as I have said again, look at what you want to grow in, the field in the field in which you want to grow in, and then ensure that you upskill and get the technical skills. Yeah. I would say also educational institutions are adopting AI. So whatever programs they are providing, they are doing away with outdated topics and syllabi, and they're incorporating the current trend. So don't shy away from taking your master's program. Yeah.
We have a question in the QA there. He says, I'm in a health supply chain works. What do you think of AI in this area? Any recommendations? So he's in health supply chain,
Okay.
healthcare supply chain.
Great. About health supply chain. Again, as I gave an example about the health sector, that ensure that you are health tech, specialist. So, well, just to remind you again of what we mentioned, that AI will take away the repetitive task. So, ensure as you are moving in that chain of, in that career path, ensure that you are not stuck at the part or the level where there is repetitive work. Yeah.
I think so. I think we're getting, so Kelvin, I think we're getting a lot of like really detailed question, like, what about my field? What about my field? What about this field? And your answer seems to be the same. You need to find a mentor. You need to do
Yeah.
your research and find out what are the AI tools being used in that field. If you're getting a degree, you need to make sure that they're up on AI and they're incorporating AI into all their courses and all their programs. Am I right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. I'm gonna share my LinkedIn so that they can follow me and follow the insights, and those who
Excellent.
have if someone wants to pick me as a mentor, I'll be willing to take 2 or
You're
3
so kind.
and mentor
You're
them.
so kind. Um, you guys, there's also Baobab has a course on AI, so you should definitely check it out. It's a really good course. So if you're new to AI and you're like, gosh, I don't know what this is, go to Baobab's course, and check it out. I will also share the tools that my student used to make his learning more efficient. That might be helpful for people. I'll put it on, it's the Baobab Marketplace, job marketplace. That's where I can post information for you. And Kelvin, oh my God, thank you so much. This was so interesting. It was so interesting. I'm definitely going to follow you on LinkedIn. I'm definitely going to follow what Talenteum and Breedj is doing. You guys are so innovative. Even before I met you, Talenteum came up on my feed as one of the most innovative new companies in Sub-Saharan Africa.
Wow.
And then I heard, I'm like, oh my gosh, wow. So thank you so much for making time for us today. And that was so interesting. So interesting. Thank you all so much. Thank you all for joining us. That was really nice. And Kelvin, we'll be in touch, I'm sure. I wish you much
Thank you.
success with Breedj and Talentium. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you,
very much.
everyone. Okay.
Thank you, everyone, and show everyone
Okay.
to follow Breedj and follow me on LinkedIn.
I
Thank
will
you. Bye-bye.
definitely. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Beyond the skies, you and I, we're breaking